Hello, and welcome to another edition of Coffee Talk with immigration attorney Brian D. Lerner. In this particular episode, I'd like to talk about the ever so famous H-1Bs. They're coming around the corner again, and if you've been around for the last few years, you know that the H-1Bs are really more of a lottery than a work permit at this point. There's, going to be around 250,000. Excuse me. There's going to be around 250,000 to 300,000, which will apply, and there's only going to be, minus all the other deductions, around 55,000 available. So, given that, um, your chances of actually getting chosen are about 20%, give or take. Now, the last few years, what they've done is everybody goes to a mad rush. They prepare the H-1B from point one to point 100, 100%, get it all done, go through all the work, get it filed by April 1st, and then hope and cross their fingers that they get chosen. And if they don't, the whole package goes back to where it was sent, usually the lawyer's office, with a "sorry, you didn't get picked, try again next year" type letter. And so, big time consumption, of course, for immigration to go through 300,000 applications, pick out what they want, and send everything back. Huge time application for the applicant and the employer having to prepare everything only for a shot in the dark. And so this particular year they have changed the way that they're going to do it, and I have to admit that it is a welcome change based on what's happened the last few years, and it's actually a good idea in that starting just at the beginning of March and going for around 20 days, they will be essentially accepting online pre-applications of the H-1B, where it's essentially a very skeletal application. Most of the work does not have to be done. It just has to be submitted electronically. And then what will happen is if it's chosen, which you will later be notified, then you go through all the real work to prepare the entire H-1B from there and get it filed so that on both sides of the spectrum, uh, everybody's not wasting their time for a situation where there is only a 20% chance of being picked. So, given that, a couple of things you have to be aware of. First, make sure that you do get in the electronic system if you're planning on filing the H-1B. And secondly, it's a whole month early this year. It's not till April. You need to start in March. So if you even want a remote chance of being chosen, be sure to get in there. Now, I've had clients and other inquiries whether they can file more than one at a time. I wouldn't advise doing that. Um, there's been other types of applications where when people tried that, everything was voided and they were taken out of the picture. I mean, you can imagine that if they only have a certain number of H-1Bs available and everybody, files two or three different applications from two or three different employers, that it takes the pool of available H-1Bs away from those who would rightfully get it. So one application, one try, and then afterwards, if you don't like working where you're working, you can then port the H-1B to another employer. You don't have to go through the lottery again. So time is a running. So get prepared. If you like the video, click like, subscribe, and more on the coming videos. Thank you.